Hey guys, another video from the Anti-Nerd here, and today I'm bringing Strong Guy from Marvel Legends collection X Factor made by Hasbro. This is a figure that we've seen released before as a Build-A-Figure, and now they re-released as a deluxe figure. So the price was $39.99, but I've seen a lot of price increases. So if you want to check Hasbro posts, I believe he's going for almost 50 bucks. Is it worth it? Let's talk about it because there's a lot to comment about this figure since it was previously released as a beta figure. If you don't follow me on Instagram and TikTok, please do it. It's AntiNerd13. And yeah, $39.99, that's what I paid, but now I believe it's more close to $50, which I believe is a little too much. But all the bigger figures, you have to invest a little bit. So let's take a look at the comic here, because I'm gonna show more in detail later comparing the figure with the comic. I'm also gonna start doing comic book reviews. Let me know if you're excited about that. And here is the back of the packaging. His name is Guido Carosella, which is an Italian name. So Guido is a very Italian name, so he does have Italian inheritance. So Strong Guy came in the 80s. I believe it might have been early 90s because he's definitely from the second phase. Here's the side of the packaging. I do believe that the second phase of X Factor is a little more acclaimed. Here's the other side of the packaging with the open window and the X on the top, as many X-Men figures. So he does come with a little more things than a Build-A-Figure. I would say the extra head, couple of extra hands, and mostly these new accessories of him lifting weights. So here's the cardboard that he comes with. It's no big deal. This blister is super heavy. It is a double plastic blister. And I do not have the Build-A-Figure to compare, but I'll do my best. I'll show a picture of the original, and I'm gonna also talk about everything that I can regarding this figure, if it's a necessary upgrade or not, okay? So here's all the extra hands with the extra head. I do think that the most important upgrade, it is the head sculpt. The head sculpt is a little more detail on this new one. He has two variants of head expressions. One is calm, the other one is angry. So a few curiosities about this guy is that he absorbs kinetic energy, right? When he does not, he feels a lot of pain and he grows the energy inside him. So let's compare with the original Build-A-Figure him. And yeah, the yellow is different. The zip is different, and the X a little different. There's a bit of controversy regarding the yellows. I do notice that the shiny part of his shoulders is new. So it's a new part of the painting. The legs are still with pins, which is not the greatest thing. And yeah, they've been switching a little bit the yellow tone. Before it was more like a dark yellow in the older Marvel Legends X-Men, like before 2020. And now they've been doing like a brighter yellow. But as I said, he absorbs kinetic energy. And if he does not, he feels pain, and he also grows. So that weird proportion that he has, it comes from his not being knowledgeable about his mutant powers. And then he creates this deformation in his proportions. So especially his torso and arms are big, while his head and legs remain the same. So the cut here on the torso swivel, it is pretty good. I don't have any problem with it. I think the bigger the cut, the more range you get. I think the arms are a little chunky. I could see an improved articulation somehow, because it is a very simple articulation. And as I showed in my Juggernaut video, especially comparing with Dragon Man, it is possible that they can do better work with bigger figures. But the head sculpt's good. Overall, this is what the line is all about. It's about getting more unknown, obscure, hardcore fan type of character in the line. But before was a more accessible line price-wise. Now it's getting too much. And I do think that figure is a little bit of a stretch for what you can get with the money, because this we're talking about the same price as the Maximum Spider-Man, right? And that was a great figure with a lot of accessories, a lot of new tooling. But Strong Guy, I don't know. I do believe he might go in discount at some point. But if you're really fan of Strong Guy, maybe this is for you. Maybe you need the extra things. Here's the extra thumbs up hand, which the new version comes with, and the lift weight accessory. So you just gotta tuck it in here. You gotta go it a little bit hard, and then you have your accessory so he can lift this heavy weight, which you can also use in other strong big figures, right? So I think could be a little longer the cable here, but if you put it all the way, I guess you can figure out, and then it becomes more straight, the cable here. So it does look nice in your shelf, this guy, lifting that weight, but I do believe that this character is not for everyone. I know that there's a lot of X-Men hardcore fans collecting the line, but overall, I would say people are not familiar with this character. He's very charismatic though in the comic, and here's a comparison with Maximum Hulk. As you can see, there is a difference of size. The Hulk colors, they definitely pop a lot. I would say that's one of the best things about this Maximum Hulk. Here's Juggernaut. Juggernaut's way bigger. Juggernaut's way bigger than any other Marvel Legends at this point, except Dragon Man. So yeah, little Guido here looks very small compared to Juggernaut. So let's put the accessory here at Juggernaut. I think it looks cool. Looks like he's working out and kind of matches more. I don't have much of the X Factor second team figures, so I do have Cyclops here, which was released this year. It is one of my favorite figures of this year, and they kind of match together. I mean, the yellow is similar, but Wolfsbane here, it is from the same team as Guido Strong Guy, so they have that similar X badge on their costumes, and you can notice, so they look good together. I hope they re-release a couple of other X Factor figures down the road, but updated, of course. Here's Wolverine from Extreme X-Men. I know it's not quite the same uniform, but you can kind of blend it in. So yeah, let's take a look at the comics to see if Strong Guy here, it is accurate to the source material. That's something that, as I mentioned, I want to do more and more, and it's gonna be like one issue per video. So I'm gonna do arcs, and of course there will be tons of X-Men. That will be my focus in the first section of my comic book reviews. So let's search here a little bit for Strong Guy and see how accurate this action figure is to the source material. And there he is without the uniform. The face quite looks like him. The glass there has a different color, but that is totally fine. And yeah, he's not showing up that much. Those covers, sometimes they don't quite tell what's going on. I do love these ads on the old issues. Oh, there he is, Strong Guy with the costume. I would say the figures are a little more exaggerated than this panel, but overall it looks pretty faithful. Strong Guy in the comics, some panels he doesn't look as big, but then in the cover arts he's very much exaggerated. So yeah, comics, I mean, there's not 100% coherence throughout comics, because they're all about perspective, right? And trying to tell the proper storytelling. But yeah, that is Strong Guy in the X Factor comic. This is from the second phase. Let's take a look at this one that has little Guido here on the cover art. Here's an ad for Mortal Kombat, which I really appreciate it. And I love these ads. I definitely always prefer to read the original issues because they transport you more to the time of that publication, especially with those ads and also the letters from the fans. It's good to know what they were thinking about the arcs. Here's the Game Boy game cover art, which, you know, the game does not look like that, but you know, there's so much imagination that used to be required, right? And really pops in your head when you see those images of the cover arts of the boxes. And here's Guido again. He's wearing nothing almost. Okay, here's Havok, right? I hope he does get updated. Look at this amazing artwork from the Sega X-Men game. Very cool artwork. That is very, very nice. Those early 90s X-Men comic books. And let me know what you think about the 90s era. I think, oh, look. So I found a panel. It looks just like the guy. So yeah, very faithful figure. I'm gonna give a great 8 out of 10. Because the price is not good. That is my main critique. And I think they could have updated something, at least the pinless legs. But it is a figure with an obscure character. It's not gonna come out soon after this release. So if you like Strong Guy, take it. Also have great criticism with the price. I mean, it is too much for one figure, but it was a build figure, and we all know that build figures, you gotta spend a lot of money to get the figures. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little tricky, because build figures, they were not cheap since forever. They've been not being cheap. So 8 out of 10 for Guido here. Cool figure, not flawless, but if you're into X Factor, this is definitely a must. And this is what the line is about. Marvel Legends about more comic book characters that only Marvel Legends line will release, not like the Japanese brands that release famous characters. All right, so stay in tune with the Anti-Nerd, and bye bye.